Welcome to the More Life Podcast, where creatives, problem solvers, and entrepreneurs talk about squeezing more out and finding meaning in this crazy thing we call life. Let's dive in. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the More Life Podcast. I'm your host, Bart if you are new around here. And I'm just excited that you're here with us. And if you're liking this content that you're seeing on this channel, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like. Go ahead and subscribe and share it with somebody if you think that it can be valuable to them. Okay, we are almost at the middle of summer here. And I was struggling to find a topic on our calendar and our theme for the year that we wanted to be talking about, that I actually had something prepared. And so I thought I would actually be really frank and upfront with you guys and kind of share a little bit of what's been going on in the past couple of weeks, because truthfully, I feel a little bit drained. It's halfway through the summer. I haven't really been taking a ton of vacation the same way that I did last year. No multiple visits to the cottage or anything like that. So it's been a very unique year, but I kind of called it from April and May. I said, we're going to be busy in the summer, just because I could see some of the things that were trending, some of the conversations that were being started, and relationships that were being developed throughout this course, of time. All of Q2 was kind of like a really slow period, and then we kind of start to see the longer plays start to come to fruition, and I'm super thankful for that. And I'm always thankful when we're actually able to be busy and have work and do all these things. And as per usual, we're cleaning up our act whenever it's slow. I've spoken about this before, where, it takes a little bit of acceptance where you can be, okay, I accept the situation that I'm in, and in fact I'm grateful for the lows just as much as I'm grateful for the highs. And that's because it takes a lot of determination to see the benefit. But when you see those benefits, you're able to be like, oh, when it's slower, I'm able to focus on the business, focus on myself. This year it was more challenging for sure. It was more unexpected, slow period. Q2 was just like dead, and Q1 was bumping. It was our best quarter to date in the company. So you take the good with the bad. You have to learn how to roll with the punches. I don't know if I did the best job rolling with the punches, but at the same time, you can't be perfect at all things, and you can't, make every shot. Um, I am definitely smarter and wiser and more in tune than I've ever been before. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that you're immune from errors. It's just different kinds of errors. And there's a bit of pre-planning and planning and execution and post, debriefing that needs to happen in these moments, so that you identify what types of systems or triggers that need to happen for you to alert yourself, your team, your mentors, that you're in hot water, or that you need help, or you're not sure of the next step. And that's what I think, for me anyway, as a leader, um, that's what I got to focus on. It's just, don't wait so long for things to get worse before you start to ask questions about different opportunities and different ways to solve these problems. And I always want to be, as upfront or as real as I can with you guys. And for that, I think, it just takes a lot of, it takes a lot out of me, because I think there's a part of me that wants to be seen as this huge success and everything is honky dory. But the truth of the matter is, you're only learning through failures. You know what I mean? Like, you learn so much more when you go through something. And I feel like this is probably one of the last times that I'm going to go through a drought like this. I'm crossing my fingers, knocking on wood, all that kind of stuff as well. Um, to the extent that I let it get as bad as it got to the extent that I don't ask for help sooner or make bigger and better decisions sooner. And I think that that goes, gets chalked up for, yep, you got me. I had a hard time with it, and we're on the other side of it now, where things are upticking and going like I thought it would be for the summer, and I'm very excited because we're producing great work, and that's always a huge motivation for me. Producing great work is the bare minimum, but it's also very exciting as a creative type person when you get to see something that's happened. People think that you have to have sexy work, meaning like it needs to be so great and that's all you need for people to flock to you and for you to always be busy. I say, having really good work is the bare minimum for you to be in the game. Because if you don't have good work, I don't care what your systems are. I don't care how long you've been doing it. I don't care who you have on your roster. It doesn't matter what type of clientele you're servicing, all that kind of stuff. Good work is the entry level, the base level that you need to have to be able to survive. And so, yeah, summer is here. The vibe is a little bit different than last year. Last year, even though it was a tough year, with the passing away of my mother, there was still a lot of vacation and rest that was kind of forced onto me. And I'm very thankful for that we had planned to go to college for a week with another family, and that we went to our family cottage, and we had lots of family time, lots of downtime, lots of relax time. And I wasn't really working that whole much. But this year, it's a grind mode where we are in our renaissance era where we're going back to basics. We're fixing up a lot of aspects of our we're fixing up a lot of aspects of our core businesses that have been neglected for a while, and I'm very excited for the things that we're starting to prepare and plan for the More Life podcast, for this show, for another show that I'm slowly cooking up and trying to piece together. There's also, the agency, which is also going to get a revamp and a new approach a little bit. And then we also have the bartaniston.com. That website is going to get overhauled, and I'm going to be more on my grind about getting consultancy work and being able to provide knowledge or to parachute into places that the agency just can't. It's too complicated and there's too many people involved for us to parachute into certain situations, but there are some things where I can provide some expertise just as a consultant, just as a speaker for your conference. So we're going to be promoting that and working on that. There's lots of writing involved and lots of planning involved, and thank God for Amanda. She's my content manager, and we're in the process of fleshing that out. She's been doing it now for 4 or 5 months, and she's crushing it so far. And I still have so much more hope and vision for that side of the business. And we're looking for interns in the fall. So if you want to be a copywriter looking for social media help, we're looking for 2 interns in the fall. So that's little side note. But I wanted to talk about also, while I have you guys here, I'm in your ears, or you're watching me online. I want to talk a little bit about finding the fine tuning, my focus, because I feel like I've been out of focus, and I don't know if you ever fall into moments like this where you're just kind of like, I don't know what's going on, but I've fallen off the wagon, or I've fallen off the focus train, and truthfully, a lot of that is a good thing. I think if you're always like tensed and trying to check off everything off your to-do list, as I often am, it's unhealthy, becomes too much tension all the time, and there's no break or reprieve or anything like that. So I'm kind of fallen off my normal bandwagon of being focused, locked in, reading as many books as I can, listening to my podcasts, my audiobooks, taking notes, filling my tank, and all these things. And I'm kind of okay with it. I'm kind of just letting myself have a break. But I am planning a comeback. And I think that's something that everybody needs to do in terms of giving themselves a little grace. Sometimes you fall off whatever you were planning on. Maybe it's a goal for the year, maybe it's a business initiative, and we're really tough on ourselves. And I think part of that is also the culture of social media that we're really accustomed to, where you're constantly seeing people, at least on my feeds, just because that's the type of stuff I like to see. You're just constantly seeing people pumping out execution. I'm just, they're not killing people is what I'm talking about. I'm saying like they're just doing stuff. They're getting stuff done. And it can feel very daunting to feel like am I not as good as I thought I was? Am I actually not on the right path? I'm not executing at the level at which I intended or planned to be executing at. So I kind of just decided, say, you know what, this summer is going to be a work summer. I'm going to try my best and work as hard as I can, but I'm not pushing the envelope in terms of what results need to happen by when. We have our online course we've been working on for a while. We've pushed it back just for the sake of my mental health and a break. I just need a break. So we're just we're trying to level out what is realistic, what's not realistic. We're onboarding a new staff member who's going to be editing this video. He's a video editor, and we're giving ourselves grace. We're not pumping and dumping tons of content on this person, or we're not trying to immediately, as soon as we've acquired new staff, to ramp up our production on how much we can produce. We have plans to do that. It's not immediate. Um, you got to focus on small wins. I love that. I wrote that down. I had to look down. It's a good reminder. You got to focus on small wins. Small wins are the things that, businesses are made of, because when you feel like you're not accomplishing a lot, you can rest and like, okay, at least I got a couple of wins in there. At least I got a couple of things in there that really make me feel like I'm getting the job done, or at least I'm making some type of progress. They really do save the day. At least it's like tricking your brain. So small wins for me right now is getting our podcast up every week, making sure that we are paying people on time, um, at least talking to prospects with my team and getting that sales pipeline, not letting it go dry. Those are the basic things that are just like, all right, we can still keep the business floating and moving. Is it the most exciting or thrilling? Nah. But at the same time, we've always been graced by good fortune to always have work, always be busy. We're trying to close out a few key projects here that we've been nursing for a while. Not by any fault of our own. It's just the nature of the industry that we're in. You have owner operators who are very invested but can be distracted or be pulled away to do other things. And we also have our partnerships, which are also take a bit of time. We partner with an SEO company, and we try to do some of our PR and outbound strategically, especially when it comes to speaking at conferences, keyword research, and regular PR stuff. So we've got work. We got work to do. It's just a matter of making sure that we're taking care of ourselves. So even though this has been a quote unquote busier summer, we're also managing our staff. We have people going on vacation, people getting married, people having babies, people. There's all kinds of stuff happening within my team, and we want to make sure that people feel that it's okay to have breaks. And I'm not trying to be a slave driver, even though we're still kind of ramping up right now. So, big thing here for me is mental clarity and trusting your body. Sometimes your body just tells you, hey, I can't push at 100%. And like any relationships, there are some times when you can only be at 40% and your partner has to be 60%. There are some days you're going to be 80%, they need to be 20. There are some days you got to be 100 because your partner is at is at a lesser amount as well. So I feel like the my body is telling me, hey, I can only give you, even though your mind wants to, I can only give you 50%. And so that's what I'm relaying to my business and to my team. And the business responds. The business is like, okay, well, we're going to keep doing the little things that we can do, the small wins to keep things floating, even though things are ramping up from a slow period. We have systems in place to kind of keep things afloat. We have personnel in place to kind of move things along. And it's helpful for me to have a mental break because, I'm always thinking of the next thing. It's been really great since the end of May, I believe. I'm sure I got it wrong. We've sent out a letter to all of our employees to put as their vacation notice. We don't work Fridays, which I'm saying smilingly right now if you're listening through the podcast, because this is a Friday as I'm recording this. And it is quarter to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, meaning I've been here all day. At least the team is not working Friday. We're not expecting people to work on Friday, and also we don't want our clients to think that they can get a hold of us on Friday. Again, I've just been on a. I gotta cool my jets a little bit. I gotta focus on myself a little bit, and this was a great moment for us to kind of take a break and to understand that, hey, everything is still going to be okay. It might be a little bit more challenging in different ways, but everything is going to be okay. I wanted to also talk about, motivation. How do you stay motivation even though you're taking a little bit of a break? And for me, the biggest thing is being realistic with your milestones because, everyone has goals. But you need to have some wiggle room with milestones to be able to understand, okay, I need to, take a pause or slow down, and then you can ease yourself into those eccentric things that you already want to do. There's eccentric things that you want to do, like play video games, watch movies, and then there's eccentric things that you want to do because you know that they're good for you. So eccentric is like stuff that you naturally want to do. I naturally want to have ice cream and watch a movie. I don't have to be motivated to do that. Eccentric things are like things I know when I do them, I get the reward. You know what I mean? So I eat a healthy meal, I feel good afterwards, have a good workout. Or if I journal, if I take time to pray, those things I don't naturally just want to do, but I know that when I do them, I get a really good result out of it. And so for me, we want to ease into first the eccentric things. Okay, what are the things that as I'm ramping back up at the end of the summer, well, we're halfway now, so I got a few more weeks where I'm kind of just chilling. But in a couple of weeks, what are the things that I can naturally do that I know I'm gonna want to do no matter what? It's just gonna feel good in my business. I don't have to question it or be like, well, if I do this, then it'll eventually pay off. To me, the number one thing is launch the products that we've been holding off on. We have some things that we've been building, the team has been working on launching, and that will make me feel good. It's a no brainer. Of course, I want to do it. We're already on track for these things to take place. I think that just adds a level of excitement for us as a team, for me specifically, to have something new. I love something new. Everyone has their thing. I love new things, and launching is something that I think is going to be really super cool for us, and it'll be very exciting for me to see the evolution of the business, the website, the brand, the caliber of our work, all that kind of stuff on display. So that's one of the things that I want to eccentrically lean into. I also wanted to eccentrically have to keep the Fridays off. Let's see if we can keep that permanently as a great way to keep our mental health clear, have 4 work days and 3 off days. And I think that's a very easy fix for us. I naturally want to have less work days and more casual days where if I need to get something done, sure, no problem, but I don't have any pressure to come into the office. And then from there, you can kind of move into more eccentric things that, okay, the more we do this, the better we know we're going to be in the future. And for us, that's going to be being consistent with our YouTube uploads, being consistent with our content, launching our course. Those are the things that will take a little bit more effort, but we know that they're going to produce a great result down the road. Your course may not sell out right away, but the longer you have it and promote it, the better it's going a chance it's going to have at actually making you money or helping people find you, and engaging with your content. So that's more like what we need to do next. Our business is, it's a unique space, and it takes a lot of effort to be able to hold all these buckets of water. And I forget who said it. I believe it's the author of Getting Things Done. I can't remember his name. Where it's like our brains are not meant to hold things. Our brains are great things to have ideas, but it's not meant to hold all this information. And as an entrepreneur, this is how you get burned out: is you try to do too much, try to hold too much water, you try to carry too much water, all that type of stuff. Water is a metaphor for stuff. You just got so much stuff that you're trying to hold on to, and we just have to tell ourselves, it's okay to put it down and it's okay to get help. This has been a great moment of learning for me, as a business owner, as a leader. Even though I feel like I'm just, trucking along, but I'm trucking along at a pace that I've intentionally allowed to be lesser than what we normally would do if in a busy period. And that's made a world of difference. And I'm trying to find my way back to being energized. I think that's probably the biggest thing that I want to have as a takeaway. I want to be energized enough so that I can accomplish the goals, but I don't want to sacrifice my own well being. And I'm so thankful that I'm in a position where I get to make these decisions myself and not submit them to an employer. And B, I'm in a position where I'm able to do this to not to the detriment of my business itself. That I can do this and business will still function and operate, and that there's still life after taking a little bit of a break or after feeling a little bit beat up after a slow season like we've had. You kind of feel beat up because you're stressed out and you're trying to do all these things and make stuff happen because you want things to keep going. And like, oh, okay, actually, now that everything is on its way back to the way it was before, that doesn't mean I need to kill myself to try to levitate and maintain everything and hold all this water. I can have the assurance that, okay, things are now on their way and I can trust people that that are in different positions to help manage all of this work and all of these different tasks and all of the things that I would be normally thinking about carrying myself. So trusting the system and trusting the process is a huge part of where I feel I am right now. Um, okay, I'm not gonna blab forever. This is where I'm at. This is a great snapshot of real talk of what it takes to run a business long term. We're no longer what I consider a startup phase. We've passed the 5 year mark. We're a business and we want to operate like it. And part of that is understanding our strengths and weaknesses and being able to adapt and mold so that people feel comfortable and happy working here. To me, I take great pride in that. Before I let you guys go, I want to encourage you. Uh, Please, we're trying to grow our YouTube following to 1,000. So, if you're listening to this, give us a follow. Go to youtube.com/Bart Anderson, and you'll find my channel there. We post tons of marketing stuff for creative entrepreneurs. Our podcast is there. Our YouTube shorts are there with all the different podcast clips and video clips. So give us a listen to. I'm thankful for you guys who listen and who support. And we'll talk to you on the next episode, guys. Peace out.